Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly presents the race to the CME Globe from Greensboro, Georgia. It's final round coverage of the LPGA Drive-On Championship.
2 days after I was born, I was left in a small wooden box near an orphanage. 9 months later, I was adopted by a golf-loving family half a world away. I've always been small. It's what drives me in life and in golf. At girls golf, I learned that even though I am only 4'9", if I worked hard, I could compete with anyone. I may be small, but I'm mighty. I'm Claire Hollingsworth, and I drive on.
And you can support girls like Claire and thousands more in the program by taking part in the Drive On for the Future virtual scramble. And scramble rounds can be played between this week and the 15th of November. All the proceeds go to the Renee Powell Fund and the Phyllis G. Meekin Scholarship. Go down to the 10th. The final group has made their way around the lovely clubhouse here. 18th green there on the left. A few hours away from that being the center stage. So they're trying to figure out the wind direction.
Okay. There isn't any.
I was going to say, it's not really, there's hardly been a breeze all week, is there?
Yeah, well, we've had maybe a half a club wind on Thursday and Friday, but right now, as an on-course commentator, Gail and I have to get miles away just to talk because everything carries so much, not a breath of wind. Straight away uphill, par 4. The place is a dogleg right for Danielle. She and most players can't carry that middle fairway bunker. That is a really nice position there.
Safely away. Going to hear a few applause and a few cheers on this back nine. It's been a long time since we've heard that at an LPGA event, but a lot of the folks who live here come out into their backyards, the back area of their property, and watch the golf and walk along outside of the boundary of the golf course, and then we'll also see the boats as this back nine continues. Now McDonald.
And then the players invited guests and everybody paying attention to all the proper protocols to ensure the safety of everyone. That was a nice looking swing, just right on the technologically extinct screws there.
Yeah. I started playing the game right after the screws. Yeah, on the persimmon.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Think of how short I would be if I had to use the persimmon, Jerry.
Well, Bianca's very first club was a Sam Snead persimmon 4-wood, and she said she just loved the way that thing felt. The first club her dad ever gave her when she was a young child. That thing's probably shattered by now.
Probably shattered it not long after she started using it with her power.
Yeah, she's in there that long.
Even though it's uphill and a 260 carry over that bunker, this ball would still be climbing when it gets there. Oh, goodness. That was just tattooed.
It looked like she wasn't overly happy with it either, but
yeah, miss it flies 280.
Yeah.
So we talked to her yesterday about leading that driving distance category on the LPGA Tour and how much she loves to drive the ball and how much confidence she has with the driver.
I love my driver. I have so much fun hitting it. Like sometimes if I'm not hitting my 3-wood or my hybrid ball, I'm just like, we're just ripping driver throughout this whole round. And I guess it's just the level of confidence that I have. And like you said, I never really noticed that until people actually started telling me that I was a long hitter.
Yeah, she said that she didn't really ever think about it, didn't even know that she hit the ball a long way.
No, and what I do like about, her situation, well, as we're going to go and look about her move now. I mean, obviously, very strong, athletic address position, really quick rotation with the shoulders, but really good extension through the back. And then that really deep hip set with the back, which means that they have to turn a long way and fast through to get her back to impact, left heel off the ground, as most people, left foot even, as most people are doing now anyway.
See a lot of the long drivers.
Yeah.
Here we go now for birdie here at the 11th.
Good opportunity to get one back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she just hit it through the break.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. She needs to just stay in the present and keep giving those opportunities to herself.
Back to 10.
Carlota Segunda for birdie. Carlota with a couple of birdies and a bogey on the front nine. And that wasn't far away. Started the day 3 shots back. She was kind of hanging around, not out of it yet. Let's take a look at where we are this week. First visit to the state of Georgia for the first time in 14 years for the LPGA Tour. Augusta's about 80 miles away. 3 weeks' time, we'll have the Masters at Augusta National. The next 3 days, we will have the Eastlake Cup at Eastlake Golf Club, which is just less than an hour and a half's drive from here. 6th annual Eastlake Cup with 4 of the best men's teams, 4 of the best women's teams in collegiate golf going head-to-head. The women, Texas, they'll be defending Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and Pepperdine. It's all coming up the next 3 days. It starts 3 p.m. Eastern on Golf Channel tomorrow. Danielle Kang first to play.
Doing the numbers right now, judging what little breeze there is, and the slope up the hill from the yardage book says it's about 6 yards more. It plays uphill. It's going to be a fair bit of club. 182 is the actual, so playing something close to 190 to a pretty tough total location.
Looked like she was going to go after this one.
I believe so. 5-iron is the number.
Danielle Kang, 2 shots back. With her second hit to the 10th.
I hit it the way I wanted to.
It looked like she wasn't happy with it, but you heard it. It's exactly what she wanted.
Yeah, it's not a typical reaction, is it?
No. A putt for birdie for Danielle. And now Ali McDonald.
160 adjusted to right at 166. Perfect. And once more, positive reinforcement from Camper Dan. Simply say, perfect.
I think it's been crucial for her to have the consistency and having down on her bag for as long as she has. Working through her trouble with diabetes. I mean, he has to really pay attention to what she's doing energy-wise with that, as well as being able to pick clubs. He's got to be the guy that takes notice of every single little thing about her, and the more familiar he is with it, the better off they are.
That one just crept over the bunker. Now is a good chance for birdie. Ali McDonald diagnosed with diabetes almost 5 years ago, something that she's going to have to deal with the rest of her life, but she has obviously gotten to a point where she can compete out here comfortably. Now Bianca,
153 and an 8-iron up the hill. Pretty smooth one, I'm guessing. But from an uphill lie, playing uphill, she probably could land this 8-iron past the hole and let it stop immediately or come back. That is just miles in the air.
getting it to stop very quickly. We'll talk more about her game and what she could do for the way that young people play golf. Donald leading by 2. Back at the 10th, where Danielle Kang has a putt for birdie.
Been one of the few portions of any green out here where they've placed the holes this week where there's no real change in contour anywhere around the hole. Not to say that it's flat, there's a little subtle contour from basically back right to front left, so this is slightly downhill with a touch of movement to the right, but this is one where you're more used to putting when there's not going over a ridge or across a hill or something.
was that same move left through the ball that she was fighting yesterday, Jerry.
Yeah, I was standing right behind it. That started 3 feet outside the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she was very frustrated after Saturday's round. And putting a part of that. Bianca Paarkkonen will be next to play. Do you think this way of playing, the fact that she hits it so far, but obviously all parts of her game are very good, do you think it signals a new generation of player?
I kind of hope it does. I kind of hope that she leads the trend in that department, because, you know, a lot of players with Bianca's length come out on the LPGA Tour and then they kind of feel like they have to rein it in to play the courses. You know, the people around them say, oh, you've got to play it to a certain spot, have a certain yardage into the hole. You know, they don't play, you know, just hit it down there and live with it and then move on and just get on with it like Bianca does. And I think once they see somebody do that, like Bianca, I think it might encourage them to go ahead and do it as well.
This for birdie. Just stays outside. So that will be a par. It keeps her at 12 under.
I mean, really, she could be a catalyst, I think, in terms of for women's golf with regards to the distance.
Well, she played 2 years at Gonzaga, and they had an indoor facility, and that's where she said she really worked on trying to get club head speed, and she said she didn't know she was long till the other players told her she was long, and I just have a hard time believing that college players and junior players and kids growing up, young ladies growing up, aren't going to try the same pursuit, because power, strength is an advantage no matter what kind of course you're playing.
No, Jerry, times are really changing. You know, for the longest time, a lot of women were encouraged to just keep the ball straight, keep it in play, you know, don't go in the rough because you're never going to be strong enough to get out of the rough. Well, times are changing. You can see that the women are strong enough to do just that, and they're being coached in a manner to which distance is becoming more important.
Well, I think that's why it's important to play other sports. Talk to Brian Henninger, who's teaching. He said everyone that hits it long has played a sport where there's some power involved.
Good birdie there for Ally McDonald.
Great stroke right there.
That moves her to 15 under par, and the lead is 3. So power is one thing, but getting it in the hole is crucial, and Ally was able to do that at 10. Let's go to 11.
Here, guys, second here at 11. Got it on the downslope just a little bit. Nice rhythm through the ball there. See if it spins. Oh, yeah. 3 good shots in there. Getting better.
Played on tour for a long time, Jim. Hasn't been able to get into that winner's circle, but had another player with good amateur career.
Back over to 10, and Danielle Kang for par. Just seen Ally McDonald make a birdie, and now this one to stay within 3.
Yeah, and what is this, 3 of this length in a row she's had, and this one maybe just right of center. These wear you out mentally.
Yeah, you're not going to win just having these for par on the back 9, are you? You need to make some birdies.
Certainly not going to win if you miss these for par on the back 9.
Yeah. She knows she's got to start doing something. She said she's going to try and be a little more aggressive today. And we'll go to the 12th, and the approach by Ariel Jutanagan.
Tom, she's 111 to the hole. It's a squishy one. Doesn't look like she likes it too much.
I didn't like the strike, but it's just fine.
It is.
I think those joys of fairways help when you've had that much rain overnight. Now, part of the redo here that Jack Nicklaus Design Company oversaw. Of course, Jack Nicklaus designed the golf course back in '92. This is the first page of the leaderboard. Great week for Matilda Castron from Finland. She was born in New York to a Finnish family, then moved back to Finland, and came over here to go to college and play golf. And she won last week on the Symetra Tour. Pernilla Lindberg, better form from Pernilla. 2018 ANA Inspiration winner Mel Reid, couple under for the day. She struggled in the first half of the round yesterday, kind of played her way out of it. 69 today for Austin Ernst, the winner this year on tour. LPGA will take a 3-week break after this event and then get back to action in
Florida. Catherine Kirk now for birdie to get to -10 within 5. Oh yeah, nice putt. She and Allie McDonald, very good friends. Great look at 11. We'll go all the way back to the tee. You mentioned the East Lake Cup, Tom. South Carolina playing. Well, they won the Alley, which was hosted at Old Waverly this week, actually, beginning of the week. Kind of cool to have a college tournament named after you. That's how much they love her at Mississippi State in Starkville. With 3 wood.
Yesterday, her tee shot got hit it about 20 yards farther than she was trying, rolling down that hill, and got into a little bit of trouble, but not big trouble. 3-wood here should, with a softer fairway today, presents no problem, and she's given no indication that she's ever going to miss one of these fairways.
I talked to BJ Trolley, our golf swing instructor. He said they had a great practice session last week. He's not surprised she's hitting it well. She's playing with a lot of passion. Now here a guy now for birdie. Saw that approach just to get 4 under on the day. Pull within 12 under par. Oh, it didn't quite stay up. Sean Mike par. Now Kang will be next.
Tough to miss this fairway. Ooh, big hop though.
Yeah, that's the first one we've seen actually go forward. On the crown of the downslope.
Looks like that soggy area that Gail was talking about.
Yeah, real soft. Looks like it's so hard off the Zoysia. You'll hit those things, especially if you've got kind of a crazy lie. But this week's aerial coverage is brought to you by Reynolds Lake Oconee. Some great views we've had this week. Appreciate all their help. Ogden on it now. Looks like fairway wood, maybe that hybrid again.
Yeah, I think it's a hybrid. She could actually reach the green with today's hole location. She'd have a 200-foot putt if she did knock it on.
Gets down on that right side. Next to Kang's ball. So all 3 players catch this fairway. Up 1 to 12.
Area for birdie.
Another good opportunity. A little downhill. Well, she just needs to keep hitting it close and giving herself chances.
Jutanagan got within 1 of the lead on the front 9, but now finds herself 4 back of Allie McDonald. Back with Lydia Ko at the 12th. This for birdie.
Her ball striking better today. And that lets her do that.
Yeah, first birdie since the 3rd hole. You can see a couple of bogeys, a couple of birdies in the first 4 for Lydia. She's at 8 under par now, which is just inside the top 10. As we look down towards the 11th there, Jim.
That's a great view, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of those around there. This whole back 9's so much beauty. Ellie McDonald should be next. Here's the... stats 2017 59th.
Ridge. That's right. It's right here, northeast. Go left to right with a little curve. Yes. Yeah.
Just the ridge will take it to the left.
That's a great line.
Bunch of greens in regulation. 59th in 2017 and 2020. She's 10th. So her iron play has definitely improved this season. This week's hit Today she's at 8 of 11 greens.
Yeah, going with 9-iron here, and the reason they took so long to just try and figure out the exact plans because there's not a lot of room back there. You have to be precise. It causes a little bit of trepidation, and even the player who's really in control of their ball striking. This looks to be nicely done. Oh, just missed getting over the ridge, though.
Yeah, about 6 more feet would have released.
Oh, that could have been a tap-in.
Yeah, I think she's a little disappointed, too. It actually spun a little bit more, hit up and maybe a little bit of a slope. Kang should be next. It looks like it was a little softer down in this part of the fairway, Jerry.
It wasn't where that ball landed.
No.
Hit forever. It is. Yeah, she's walked around looking to see if she can take relief from temporary water. And I think it just wasn't quite wet enough to do so. You don't have to. That's one of the reasons they play lift, clean, and place, so that you can still finish a round even when there's water everywhere in the fairways.
So if you're looking at this picture, there's the ridge is right there across the green, and she can use that, the slope, if she wants to. But from this angle, Jerry, and from this distance, I would think she's going to take this right at it.
Yeah, I think so. Just a 3/4 gap wedge, and you try and use that ridge, you can end up doing exactly what Allie did. Yeah, she did take it right at it.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, pretty nicely done.
Yeah, beautiful shot. That's the key. You just got to know how far it's going to carry. You got to trust it. With that intense look, I don't know what he's looking for, but hopefully Bianca's not going to be over there. The way she wanted, but still not a bad shot. Gets within about 15 feet, so she and Kang both have a good chance for birdie to maybe get a little closer to Allie McDonald, who has a 3-shot lead right now. We'll be right back.